Welcome to Mr. 96's Pop Reviews. My name is Mr. 96. Normally I'd have a bit of an intro where I talk about the year, but honestly I just want to get this video done, so here are the guidelines. Songs must have charted in the top 60 of the Hot 100, can't release later than August of 2024, and can't be on the 2023 year in Hot 100. But most importantly, this list is completely subjective. All these choices are my personal opinion, meaning you have every right to disagree with me, so I will respect your opinion as long as you respect mine. Anyways, there's a reason I'm making this a top 3 instead of a top 5, so I'll get into that at the end of the video, but until then, let's take a look at the top 3 best hit songs of 2024.
Someone put me up a double shot of whiskey. They don't need Jack Daniels, got a history. At the bottom of a bottle, don't miss me. Everybody at the bar get tipsy.
I know that my rules for eligibility have been weird with the whole arbitrary top 60 thing, but I swear there was a reason for it. I don't know what the record for lowest peaking song in the year in Hot 100 is, but there have been songs in history that only peaked in the 50s, yet somehow made the year-end charts just through pure staying power. Honestly, relying on Billboard in general is outdated after their disastrous 2022 charts, but one of the benefits of my method is that I can talk about gems like this. So you know how Kate Bush had a song from the 80s that finally reached the States a couple years ago because it was in Stranger Things? Okay, imagine that, but it's for a 2001 song in a 2023 movie. Rather than talk about the song's quality, I want to talk about its curious timing, as it's an interesting product of its era.
It's a murder on the dance floor, but you better not kill the groove.
It's a disco song from 2001, which was about 20 plus years after the disco era, so it was in a prime nostalgic position. But it also shows a difference between the UK pop scene and the US one in the 90s and 2000s. When the US was being nostalgic about the 70s during the late 90s, they mostly did so through rock, which is why Aerosmith became big again. So while disco wasn't a joke anymore, there wasn't a gigantic disco revival or anything. I can't speak to the UK pop scene in 2001 because I'm an American who was only 5 at the time. But when I hear Murder on the Dance Floor, I hear a dance vibe that's both nostalgic yet distinctly European. Europe is no stranger to dance pop, as Eurodance and Europop were a thing throughout the 90s and early 2000s, but what I'm trying to say is that Murder on the Dance Floor probably didn't chart in America because the country wasn't ready for flashy dance music in 2001. It's unfortunate since we were less than 2 years away from Justin Timberlake and the Neptunes taking over, so Sophie Ellis-Bextor caught a bit of bad luck as she was just a bit too early for a US crossover. Regardless of the circumstances for it charting in the States now, I'm just glad that borders aren't as important to music tastes today. This song's a jam, and I can see why it was a smash in the UK. I know this wasn't really a hit song in 2024 like Running Up That Hill was in 2022, but under my janky rules, I'm just happy I got a chance to talk about this gem.
At the bottom of a bottle, don't miss me. Everybody at the bar get tipsy.
There have been many times where people use a solid beat to excuse not so great rapping, but this is not one of those times, so I've got nothing to worry about.
Young dope dealer selling dope, is you like that? Kicking doors, kicking in doors, is you like that?
My appreciation for Metro Boomin has gone up a lot in the last few years. His work on Across the Spider-Verse showed me he had more range than I gave him credit for, and his new albums with Future showcase a lot of his talent. I first heard of both Metro and Future in 2016, and to be honest, I was not a huge fan at the time. Metro and Future made the song Wicked in 2016, which I found to be pretty boring. The beat was mildly interesting, but I could not understand a single word Future was saying. With this new song Like That, you could argue it's trying to go for the same aesthetic as Wicked, but it has a much clearer emotion of anger that resonates much more, especially Metro Boomin's verse. Yeah, Metro doesn't have any lines of his own, yet through his instrumental section, he conveys all you need to know without words. A true artist, if you will. Okay, I've buried the lead long enough. The reason this song is here is because of Kendrick's verse.
Motherfuck the big three, nigga, it's just big me, nigga, bum!
This was the shot heard round the world in which Kendrick fired back at J. Cole and Drake that there was no big three. It was just him. Really, the whole song is about the artists involved calling out their enemies, but Kendrick's genuine disdain for Drake really completes the whole thing. It's ironic that Future of all people is not on good terms with Drake anymore, but it makes the diss all the more sweet. With Metro Boomin and Kendrick both bringing their A game, the song is both a banger on its own and the catalyst for the most exciting rap beef of this generation. This was one of the few tracks from the beef that ended up on the Year in Hot 100, and it was well earned.
At the bottom of a bottle, don't miss me. Everybody at the bar get tipsy.
Really, this number one spot will actually be two songs, since you can't really talk about one without talking about the other. So to kick off this conversation, let's start with the one that came out first.
Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father, let me be honest.
In the Kendrick-Drake beef of 2024, this was the song in which Kendrick thoroughly won. It wasn't just the quality of the song itself, but also the timing of its release. Drake thought he had his kill shot with Family Matters, as that was the 7-minute track he made a music video for, but less than an hour later, Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams, immediately stealing Drake's thunder and accusing him of being a pedophile.
Your son's a sick man with sick thoughts, I think niggas like him should die. Him and Weinstein should get fucked up in a cell for the rest of their life.
The internet has already dissected every line of this song in great detail, so I won't rehash the entire thing here. What I do want to talk about is why I have this ranked so high. While many people appreciate this song for how significant it is, most critics online say they find it a hard listen, and rightfully so, as it's a dark and uncomfortable track. Maybe I'm just a sick fuck, but considering I never liked Drake much to begin with, I have no problem listening to this, as I don't feel sorry for him. Kendrick makes a 6-minute haunting track where he tells Drake's family that Drake's a sexual predator, yet I am invested in every second of it because Kendrick is an engaging writer and storyteller. When Drake makes a lengthy track nowadays, it feels like it drags on more than its actual length because he cares more about streaming numbers than he does about interesting lyrics. But Kendrick got an entire hip-hop audience to listen to a personal dissection of a man because he's an artist first, celebrity second. Yet despite Drake being the hitmaker of the two, Kendrick proved the very next day that he could do Drake's job even better.
They not like us, they not like us, they not like us.
I didn't listen to popular music much this year, but this song right here was a genuine smash that connected all audiences together, as much as Drake doesn't want to admit. It's funny how Kendrick made a dance song calling Drake a pedophile, yet it's been nominated for multiple Grammys. Not Like Us is a love letter to the West Coast and a love letter to hip-hop in general. The one thing Drake could say he had over Kendrick was commercial success, yet Kendrick managed to make a commercial jam while clowning on Drake at the same time. It's ironic how it was a West Coast jam that managed to bring together people of all demographics. Hell, people at Anime North were jamming to it, a convention that's in Toronto, by the way. When your hometown is cooking you, you know your image has been tainted. And I know in my last video I said that I don't think Drake is ruined commercially, but when someone as acclaimed as Kendrick says he doesn't fucking like you, it's usually for a good reason. Drake's such a sore loser that he made a diss track towards LeBron James, the guy whom you still have a fucking tattoo of, all of which shows why NBA players like DeMar DeRozan don't respect you. Anyways, my number one best hit song of 2024 is Kendrick Lamar. I guess Not Like Us is the technical winner, but the entire year belongs to Kendrick as far as I'm concerned. Thank you all for watching. I know this video is on the shorter end with only 3 songs, but it's mainly because that's all I had time for. However, the real thing I want to announce is that I'm going to be taking an indefinite hiatus. Part of it is burnout from making these lists, which is why I don't plan to make them again in 2025, and another part is that I want to straighten things out in my real life as I'm currently taking film, editing, and screenwriting classes. In addition, my Patreon polls for 2000s childhood pop have had very little participation lately, which makes doing those videos pretty deflating. Since this video here is technically part of the 2024 season, the official 2025 season will be on delay. While this may come across as bad news, what I want is for you all to receive a product that I can be proud of. I still have many ideas of videos I'd love to make, but I want to make them because I want to, not because I have to. So when I do come back, I want to do so with the same passion I had in 2023. I apologize for the rather pessimistic outro, but know that my break won't be forever. Of course, you can still join my Patreon as it's on a per video basis, meaning you won't be charged until I come back, but you'll still receive all the benefits while I'm gone. For just $1 per video, you can join my patron-only Discord server where we chat and chill, and at $2 per video, you get to vote on what songs I review for my series 2000s Childhood Pop. At $5 per video, you get to be listed in my Names of Fame, and at $10 per video, you get a personal shout through the heart along with Casey Vellante, Jason Semler, and Prideful Zella. For my patrons watching this around release, you can click the link below to help vote on what song I'll review for the next patron-voted 2000s Childhood Pop episode. Once again, I'm Mr. 96. If you want to see more pop reviews, click the subscribe button below and tap that bell to be notified when I drop a new episode. I won't do the most average list now, so when I come back, it'll likely be 2000s Childhood Pop. Pop songs may come in numbers, but there's only one. 96.
너의 그 말 그 잔인한 말 가슴 아파